Thanks. It's a pleasure to be here. It's that advice from a tree. What is that advice from a tree? Well, for me, it's my core, it's my passion. I grew up loving trees, and then I went into corporate America and I thought, wow, is it in vogue to talk about how much I love trees and nature? And, and I took many, many years to kind of come back and say, who am I really? What's my true nature? But this is really about your true nature. And I want to give you a little bit of my story, a little bit of what has helped me be successful so that you can live your true nature. So we'll have a case study. We'll share with you everything I know, because it's really not about just me standing up here and say, look, this is what I've done to be successful. Because if I leave there, I've not done my work. So what I like to do is tap into what will make you successful. I like that Marty did with that hay thing piled up on that bicycle. What I'm looking for is that one tiny straw that will make a difference for you today. That one thing that you can do that will make your life more successful. So, we live in a society. I remember in the first grade, excited to learn, got my math test back, 4 big red X's. We are programmed to go, what's wrong? I'm not good enough. I don't know enough. I don't have enough time. What I'd like to do is give you just a message to say, what would it look like if you looked at what's going right? I want you to be in this seminar in a place of power, in a place you go, okay, I don't know everything, but this is what I know, this is what I stand for, these are the talents that I have. It's a huge difference. We have a choice. Look at what's not working, or look at what's working. We have all these influences around us, negativity, destruction, delays. The media is giving that to us. Here's one of my favorite cartoons. It could be that the purpose of your life is to only serve as a warning to others. Do y'all feel that some days you get up? What are we going to do? We can be a victim at the bottom of that V, or we can turn it upside down and climb to be the most successful that we are. For me, it's about my true nature. I love trees. Absolutely love trees with a passion. And I realized that I can just sort of say, I love trees. Or I can get out and really let you know what I'm about. Advice from a tree. Stand tall, stand proud, sink your roots deep into the earth. Reflect the light of your true and amazing nature. Embrace with joy the changing seasons, because each yields their own abundance. The energy in the birth of spring, the joy and the contentment of summer. Breathe in with me. And release. And the wisdom to let go like leaves in the fall, and the rest and the quiet renewal of winter. Enjoy the good things of life. Fresh air, light, each other, possibility, a good DaVinci Institute seminar, the friendships that you created, the knowledge that you have. Go out on a limb. Be flexible. Remember your roots. Drink plenty of water. Enjoy the view. Advice from a tree. That's the message. Thank you. So not only do I love trees, but I was able to make it into a very, very nice living. Now what happened is I took my experience with 7-Up, the Uncola. My job right out of college working for the director of marketing, this amazing campaign. How do you remember the Uncola campaign? So it was a campaign to sell a soft drink, but for me it was a lot more than that. It was about being untraditional. Remember this Yellow Submarine when the Beatles? And don't be left out in the cola. It was around connection and creating something magnificent. So what in you wants to be created? What wants to come through? And so my invitation to you is to look and see, well, what are you all about? We only get one chance at this beautiful life. Each day is so precious. How are you going to spend it? For me, trees, human growth, making the world a better place. We had fun doing this 7-Up Uncola patch and Uncola bottle caps. And the upside down glass, y'all remember that upside down glass? 25 million glasses were sold. That was my project. It's not too hard to turn a glass upside down. So as you look at all this stuff, it's like, it's not that complicated. So your task is to kind of wade through all of this and come up with the simplest thing that you can. The simplest thing, upside down glass. So I decided, well, I'm not really about selling soft drinks. I do more natural fruit juices. So I went to Willy Wonka Candy Bar and created sugar candy bars. I go, I don't think that's what. But anyway, developed some candy bars. But for me, it's what I did is I learned about the structure behind marketing and advertising and about the Uncola campaign. But I brought it home to me. So it's like, go back and think about what are those experiences? What is all that knowledge? You talked about the trademarks and that. It's like, don't throw that away. Bring that power into who you are now. This is me in the office. So true, I went to Moab, sat in the canyon, Hunter Canyon, and wrote this, Advice from a Canyon. Carve out a place for yourself. Aspire to new plateaus. Stand the test of time. Don't get boxed in. Listen to the voice of the wind. It's okay to be a little off the wall and reach deep. So this is my niche. You were talking about a niche. The niche that I own, I stand there. I love being in that niche, is giving advice from nature. I started with a tree, then went to the river, mountain, garden, hummingbird, then into wolf, owl, and you can imagine how many possibilities. We have 35 advice products, and I'll show you a little bit about that. This is another day at work. This was just 2 weeks ago in Mexico, being connected to nature. And then writing advice from a dolphin. What I'm known for and what my niche is having this humor, knowledge, wisdom, very simple. Advice from a dolphin, advice from a wolf, advice from whatever. I think we've got 500 more possible. What I like to illustrate at this time is when you think about an idea, like Mark Victor Hansen and Marty mentioned, he didn't just come up with he came up with chicken soup for the soul, but then he came up with all of these others, for the teenager's soul, for all of the souls. And by the way, Mark Victor Hansen came to me and said, I got this idea, I'd like to do chicken soup for the tree lover's soul. I go, God, I just don't get it. It's a humbling thing, bringing ideas into fruition. But anyway, I guess I was destined to do my own thing. So think about, what are the niches? What's the concept that you can create for yourself? Somebody have a product, an idea, or just a phrase that's, your your product. Just throw, yes?
We say yes when banks say no.
Okay, so we say yes when banks say no. We say yes when real estate people say no. We say yes when teachers say no. We say yes when, so take an idea, but like find the way to expand it into 20, 30, 50, 100, 500 different ways. That's where you get powerful presence in the marketplace. That's where you can own your niche. That's where it's profitable. My company's Your True Nature. Posters, notepads, bookmarks, little books. Give you an idea. I'd like to share with you is to think about your idea in the form of a bookmark. It affords you protection. If you have advice from a tree on a book, advice from a tree does not afford me any protection for the title Advice from a Tree. But if I do something very simple and I do class 16 printed materials and I sell it as a bookmark, suddenly I'm protected for that advice from a tree. Huge difference. You want to make sure that your ideas are protected.
I don't understand.
Okay.
Why is one protected and one isn't?
A book is just a title of a book, and then the many books can be, you can have multiple names for books, the same names, but it's just the trademark laws. But if you put it on a bookmark, class 16, which is a category of trademarking, you can protect it. So you would file with uspto.gov and protect your idea. Huge difference. So this little bookmark, this bookmark is actually, I've sold over $1 million of these bookmarks. Okay. So you think, wow. I've sold them online, offline. My program today is going to be addressing both offline and online. So I went into the Middle Fish in Boulder. How many know that account? Okay. I went into Melinda and I said, I got this bookmark. I was thinking, 25, 50 cents. I did a little market research. I asked a few questions. I said, Melinda, what do you think of this? She goes, I love it. I said, what would you sell it for? She goes, $2.95. I go, that works for me. So I wholesaled it at half of that, which was $1.50. It cost me 25 cents. You do the math, 25 cents to $1.50, that's $1.25 profit. Selling over 1 million of these, plus we sell them at retail. So I think that if you look at the idea of a bookmark, and we'll talk about this a little bit more later, but how can you create something that's going to protect your signature idea? A bookmark for me. So we went into advice from an elk. Don't get stuck in a rut. Be magnificent. Advice from a wolf. Pack life with good memories. Keep your den clean. Advice from a bear. Live with the seasons. Eat well. Look after your honey. Advice from a moose. Spend time in the woods. Know when to make tracks. It's been so wonderful to be able to clearly create my niche, because it's who I am. I thought it was just about the trees, but in marketing, you put things out there and then you listen. But you got to get started. Without getting started, you have nothing to listen to, only that voice in your head going, I wish I could do this. We have tree planting cards, because I realized that I've been doing this green thing for a long time. And now the marketplace is turning that way. It's nice when you can get started and when your ideas merge with the marketplace. So we have this plant a tree where you can send a greeting card to someone. And the idea of technology is you can go online and you can see where the tree is being planted. The recipient can see where the tree is being planted. For $8.95, you get a card, you get a tree planting, you get a tour on the website. So we give value. Whatever we do, we need to give value to our people that we serve. And when you do give value, they respond with their purchases. They respond with telling others, hey, this is what I did. You can do it too. We give back to the earth. We planted about 60,000 trees now. So as you do your business, think about future generations. We have a website, replanttrees.org, that you can go on, and it's got an automatic calculator, and you can plant trees to replace the paper you use. So for me, trees are important, the environment's important, but each of us has our own desire. Some it's with children, working with horses, animal protection, forest protection, legal rights, whatever it is for you. I invite you to not only look at what you want to do to make a living, but also how to give back at the same time. We talk about the red X's, blue check marks. So my business model is that I'm a keynote speaker. I deliver a message to conferences and events. I have a product division company that we do the advice from nature and t-shirts and books and the ones that I've showed you. And also a training company where we'll go into organizations and help them focus on what's working, focus on the positive. Joey had a question?
When I got out of the hospital 4 years ago with a stroke, Elon sent me this poster, 1,000 things went right today, front and center in my office. It kept me going for 4 years. Thanks a lot.
We're glad to have you here, Joe. It was, I'll pass some of these out. Would you all like to have take some cards so we can share this? And you can put them on the copier, make all the copies you want. The idea is that you get into this place, you got this idea, you have this idea, you want to make a mint on the online business or take your business to the next level. And what Joe was saying is he has those front and center because it reminds him of what's working and the people that love him and the things that are going so well. Let's just do that one. We'll do... Thousand things went right today. My stapler worked perfectly. My fork performed beautifully. I started my card, hummed with ease. Just 1,000 things went right today. I breathed. My eyes opened. My elbow bent. Try that with me. My elbow bent. Here, try it. My elbows bend. If you can't think of anything when you get up in the morning, just go, my elbows bend. Think about all the opportunities. I think Leonardo DaVinci and how he would get up and he'd say, am I going to paint today? Am I going to do something scientific? He just had such an amazing quest for life. I kind of wish the world was a little more of DaVincis all around. But the world needs each of us. It's not just about making a living. It's not just about that. It's like, how can you take what you know? How can you take who you are and express it in the world? The money will come, but the greatest satisfaction is coming from that place, like the tree. You just stand proud and say, this is who I am. Oops, not that one. Here. So it's my pleasure to give keynotes in helping organizations focus on the positive. Can you imagine school counselors, Wisconsin, it's the middle of winter, January, 1,600 school counselors, each of them fill out 5 cards about what's going right in the counseling business. And they are in a tough business. So you can imagine 1,600 times 5, that's about 6,000 cards get put on the wall. Suddenly, people get chills, they get into tears because they see all the things that are going right. So I offer a process. And along with that comes products. A lot of my speaker friends say, okay, look, I'm on the road 220 days a year. I'm making large six-figure income, I go, doesn't interest me. What if I can deliver my message to 30 key organizations, but I can get products that go with it? So that's what I did, is I developed a series of products. The cards that you saw, there's music, there's books, there's all kinds of processes. And I'll show you how we put those online. Again, 1,000 things are going right. Oops.
Can you go back to the other slide?
I don't know. Let's see. These are the cards that are put up that I shared with you.
I got 75 of those when I was in the hospital from the national speakers, thanks to you.
My pleasure. Do you think you can have influence in this world? I absolutely believe that you can. But it's a choice. Oops. Not chance. Determines your destiny. So you probably by now you've got the message that you come from your place of strength, come from your core place. How do you take that and translate that into a profitable business? Any ideas? Yes?
Take action.
Take action. All right. We like that. Here, we'll pass that back. We give them the river bookmark. How else? Just prizes here.
Well, I loved your idea of just keep it as simple as possible.
Keep it as simple as possible. Advice from a squirrel. Look both ways when you cross the road. Yes?
I think you have to believe in it.
Absolutely, if you don't get up and do that every day. The eagle. Well, let's see. What do you want for you? Where were you born? What state?
Ohio.
Ohio.
Buckeyes.
Yeah, we'll give you the sea turtle. Yes.
This came right from the man. Ask for help.
Ask for help. When Joe needed to get up there, ask for help. Okay, advice from a polar bear. Learn some good icebreakers. Yes.
Build a team.
Build a team? Absolutely. Advice from the wolf.
That's perfect.
Is it?
My sweetheart is Vukovic, which is son of a wolf.
Okay. Howl with your friends. Yes.
I just wanted to say something. I so much appreciate your positive outlook. My background's engineering. I've been working in the field of energy efficiency for about 20 years and found that the people, and actually the group in Fort Collins, the people who believed they could do something better within their budget time frame, made it was true. And the people who believed that they couldn't because it'd be too hard, too difficult, too expensive, they were also right. And so I thought it was all about the technology, and it turns out it's really, the key factor is what the belief is of the person who's doing it.
What you believe, yeah.
Yeah, so
And
it's just, thank you.
you're going to get a lot of messages about, can you do it? And my sense is just to kind of come to that core place. It's, yes.
Go to seminars with very good people.
Go to good seminars, all right. We'll give you, yeah, weren't Marty and Anita fantastic?
Oh, there was 3. It took 3.
We'll give you advice from the river. So you start with what you can, and I say, okay, let's start with a bookmark. y'all want to just take that? I want to make it as practical as possible. You got some paper in there? Go ahead and draw a bookmark shape on a piece of paper.
There's paper inside your phone.
Yeah. And if an idea comes to mind, now what I want you to do is I want you to think about this is good and saleable because you can put it on your bathroom mirror. It's not a sales thing that says buy me, and I got your picture and everything all over it. It's a gift. So what I want you to do is kind of think of your concept or think of an idea that you're talking about interior design. So you could take, interior is really interior of houses, but we talked a little bit about your own interior. How do you design your own interior so that you can come from a place of balance and that. So that could potentially be a bookmark that says, interior design, living from the inside out or whatever. So that if you, from what you know, you could give that to people. Oh, interior design, that's really cool. And by the way, I do interior design. So it's an indirect way of putting your concept out. This is an indirect way with this advice of putting my love of nature. I'm selling trees and awareness and inspiration, but I'm doing it in a way that is very soft in a way. So if you have a bookmark, and what I'll do is just take a little bit of time to craft your bookmark. Maybe it's got a title to it, maybe it has some words, a picture. Again, think of it in an inspirational. And what I'll do is just, I might just travel around a little bit, take a look at what you're doing, and then maybe invite a couple of you to share with a group, and I'll work with you and show you how do you take your concept and turn it into a saleable bookmark. All right, is there someone that would like to volunteer to have their, you want to come? Yeah, you want to come on up and, okay, thanks for coming up. I know it, people ask me, am I scared to get up in front of people? And I say, I'm scared not to, because if I don't stand up and say who I am. So I just get through that little bit of time, but I learned that you can just breathe and realize that these people are much happier that you're up here and not them.
When I was listening to it, it reminded me of some things that I've written, and it reminded me to get back when you're talking about really your true self.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of times the thought that occurred to me listening to you is that we keep hiding from ourselves because we have fear that we can't be successful at what we really want to do. And I know for me personally, that's been one of my things that have been holding me back, is that fear factor. And you're kind of reminding me to let it go.
Let that go. So what we have, can I read this?
Yeah, sure.
So I am that I am free to choose, I'm free to soar, I'm free to be me, I'm free to be in the moment, I'm free to love life, most of all I'm free to be that loving person that I am. Wow, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's, so this is what's written, there's the copy, the top could be a little bit of a headline. It's got nice, what design would you put on there? What's something that's meaningful to you?
I think I'd put a flower on it.
Flower, opening the flower there. Okay, on the back you can put the information like your website. So people get that and they go, wow, I mean this is beautiful. And how do you see this tying into like your online business or your work or what's coming? How make that bridge for us.
Well, one of the things I've done, and I've been afraid to really go full bore in, is I developed a program for kids called 18 Thoughts to Help Guide You Through Life. And it's based on a letter that I wrote to my son. And there's a part of me, I've come from the corporate world, I've climbed the ladder, I've made money, lost money, I've done ventures, and my wife can tell you how pissed off she is at me right now for spending money and not making money on that. But this is a passion of mine that I've been afraid to explore. And listening to you, one of the things I can do with these 18 is make a bookmark for each of the 18 thoughts. I thought about doing a calendar as a supplement to the class. And
Sure, so 18 different bookmarks?
or 18 different bookmarks.
Right, that's a great, and even one with fear, you could have FEAR, and you could talk about how many of us deal with fear, you know, and so you put it out there, and then you suddenly, you don't know why you're doing it. I mean, it's a sort of direct thing, we got to make this product, we got to make money, we got to do it, but once you just sort of create from a place of core and a place of passion, I think you'll be amazed at what kinds of things will come to you and lead you in that direction. So I wish you well on that. Let's give David a hand for sharing that. And you can, with the computer these days, you can make these bookmarks very easy. You can print them out. You can go to Kinko's or somewhere and have them laminated. You get, there's plenty of clip art and design. Technology is so amazing these days. Good luck with that.
Thank you.
If you want to email them to me and just say, here's what I'm doing, any comments you have, I'd be happy to do that. Who else? Kathleen, come on up.
I am thinking about a website called the Arts and Crafts Exchange. It's just a resource site, local, that's been built by community to community for people who are getting into a particular craft, or people who are at the intermediate stage, or who want to share their teaching of it, or what have you. So my bookmark would be, start off saying, live your art, and at the bottom, create every day. And in the middle, we just have some kind of design principle with an image, talk about creating, and then at the bottom, the website information.
Go up there. That's right. What colors have meaning to you? What's a color that?
Well, the colors actually have a lot of
Yeah.
meaning, and it's different for different purposes.
What would you pick for this? What would-
Probably something kind of sunny, some yellow.
Okay. So that's good. So pick a color when you're doing this. Pick a color that has meaning to you, because when you hand it out to somebody, then you know you're giving a little bit of that what's joyful to you, and they pick up on that, and then it creates a brand for yourself. The phrase, if you just put a little TM by it, kind of says, "Hey, on notice. This is my property." The colors that you use, the type fonts, everything. Create your brand. If you can create a brand with a bookmark, you can then do a postcard, you can do a book, you can do a poster, you can do a website, you can do so many different things. The reason I love the bookmark is that it's a great place to start. You know you can do it within a couple of days, and you can use it as a reminder to then create other kinds of products. Thanks, Kathleen. All right. Any questions about the bookmark before I'm going to move into showing you two sites? Yes, Thomas?
When you're using the bookmarks that had some quotes in them, did you have to get permission from the person that was the original?
Person that quoted. Yeah, actually, you can go on the quotes and you know, on the internet and get lots of quotes that are in public domain. If you're going to use somebody, we get thousands of people inquiring about permission using this, and we actually grant permission. We give them written permission because they'll use more of our whole poem. The legality is if you use just a little excerpt, just a line or two, then you can do that. As a courtesy, I always will, I'll write to somebody if it's current, if it's current people. But I pull from, Leonardo da Vinci or people way in the past. That's the safest part to do.
Okay.
John Muir. Good. Okay, the website. So this is my website, yourtruenature.com. It's undergoing update, as many are. So what I wanted to show you is that here's our site. It's like we don't have a link here. This is to another one I want to show you. But it's got our products. And basically along the left side, it has the products and programs. You can, okay, so what I want to do is, so basically this is the website, and you go and click here, it says order here. So this takes you into our shopping cart. We happen to use Shopping Cart Direct. $49 a month. It allows me to go on and put all of our products and to update it without a web developer. So this just shows you that we've got, on the left-hand side, you can either view all, We've got quantity discounts. We have then things arranged by what type of item they are. And then we designate them by what kind of advice they are. Nature advice, garden advice, pet advice. Oop. So this is one of them, not sure which one came on here. Yep, so this is the garden advice. You can see we have notepads, bookmarks, postcards, journals. Let's go to the bookmarks here. All right. So we sell these for $2.50 each online. So you figure it costs you a quarter. Do the math on that one. $2.25 profit directly selling online. Not only the profit, but people are getting these, they then share them with others. Those people go, oh, I like this. I'm going to go on and go to your website.
Do you pay the postage or do they pay the postage?
They pay the postage.
Where do you get them made?
Basically, we have them done at a traditional printer, and then we have them laminated. In Denver, there's some different laminating vendors. Again, the one I want to show you is that if you see over here, this the best advice. That's 12 bookmarks, and you can see they get quite a good deal. If you bought them all together at $2.50 each, it would be $30, but they save $6. People like deals. So as you create your products online or whatever, packages are fabulous because they figured, okay, they're going to buy 3 bookmarks at $2.50, but they'll buy a dozen for $18. So in a sense, I'm making less per item, but the sale is greater.
You do your own fulfillment?
We do our own fulfillment. We've actually grown to where this sort of started in my garage, and both cars are out now, and the whole basement. I have 4 full-time staff, and it's a great team of people. Love working with them. Actually, the one that I hired first was my housekeeper. Basically, she did such a fabulous job of cleaning my house, and I said, what are your goals? What's your true nature? What are you all about? And she said, well, I would really like to run a company. I'd like to be operations manager of a company. I said, well, let's start. I said, you can clean my house. I'm sorry, but I don't want you not to clean my house. You have to agree. Because she was so good. To find a good housekeeper is, worth its weight in gold. And so she began picking up a few hours, and she just had such a quality approach, and she just loved learning and operating a company. And so it's been 4 years, and now she's director of operations. And not cleaning my house anymore. But I did delegate, and I said, would you find me another good housekeeper? So, again, when you look at things, here's the quantity discounts. Let's see if we can get here. They are made in the U.S. Right. Again, with my environmental commitment, we replant trees to replace all the paper. We use recycled paper. We donate to 1% for the planet. We have hybrid vehicles for the company. So it's just my commitment. So what a joy to be able to walk your talk and to think what matters and bring it into action. So here's the mini books. This is the Advice from a Tree mini book. And we sell them, we sell them in dozens. The one book's $6.95, but we sell the 6-pack for $68, which is like $5.67 or something. About 40% of our customers buy the 12-pack. They like the book. So you think of it, how can you package? How can you take your ideas and create packages? So I've shared with you about this whole idea of a concept. Advice from a wolf owl, however that works for you. But also then think about how can you package them. And I think I'll move on from that. Okay. So we ship out a lot of orders. We got inventory. We buy inventory. And I thought, gosh, there's got to be a way that I don't have to have inventory. That I can just take the power of technology of the online business and I can combine it with nature. Okay, technology, nature. no inventory. That was my criteria. I just want to be paid while I'm standing up here. I want to be paid when I'm in Mexico. I want to be paid when I'm sleeping or eating. That's coming up for you. So we have about 6 minutes left in the program. Yes, sir.
Since all of your stuff is nature friendly and all that,
Yeah.
while we were doing our little exercise, I was thinking you could do an office friendly segment as well for those of us who are office bound. And so I did a bookmark, which I'd be delighted to share with everybody. Advice from a paperclip.
All right, okay. Let's hear it.
And some of the items are: don't get bent out of shape, avoid entanglements, keep things together, don't get stuck between the cushions on your couch, and don't be afraid to get carried away.
Oh, I like that. Let's give him a hand for that one. All right. And you read that at a pretty good clip.
Well, thank you.
Pass that back to other questions. So the idea is you can't have a good time with this. Although advice from A is trademarked, so you'll have to find your own niche. Okay. Who else? Other questions?
You know, as you came up, the advice from the tree was the first idea.
Right.
And the bookmark was your first thing.
Right.
How did it evolve, and what, did you have setbacks?
The question is that it came up with advice from a tree bookmark in the beginning. How did it evolve? We sold advice from a tree bookmark. Actually came up with a postcard, and that was the first item, and then a bookmark came from that. And then somebody said, well, why don't you do a little book? Why don't you do a notepad? Why don't you do a poster? Why don't you do a tree shirt? That's the whole thing about marketing is once you get it out there, people are going to begin to give you ideas. You know, people love to give you ideas from a paper clip or from whatever you're doing. It's just, you know, it gives you something to start with, and then you begin to listen. And then it became, somebody says, well, how about advice from a river? I go, you know, the tree is, I don't think I can do it. And for 3 years, I just stayed with it. And then one day I decided, you know, it's more about all of, because it's not, I love trees, but other people love rivers. Yay, that's a good sign.
Just use Firefox.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Give him a hand here. Okay, so the idea, what do you combine? 111 million greeting cards, electronic greeting cards are sent every week. I love trees. This is my website. So technology, nature, how do you create an online product? How do you serve people that want to send more than an e-card? It's carbon positive, no paper is used. And while we're here, people are clicking purchasing. The money goes directly into the bank. Make a living. Feel like you're doing something good for people. That's what my message is all about. I think that's, if we look at it, technology is so amazing these days. You couldn't have done this 5 years ago. But now, as technology moves, kind of be on the look as things come up. It's creating opportunities all the time. Combine, for me it was trees and nature. What is it for you? Combine your love of this, your love of that. It's powerful to do that together. Just to show a couple resources that I have, just a couple workbooks or successful products and programs, True Nature of Designing. I'll make these available afterwards. They're $18.95 each, or the set will be 32, actually 30 for the combined. Also, I have some advice. Series I'm happy to offer you today. So basically, it's $8.95 for single tree, and you can go on and select the type of tree you want. The more interaction you have on your website, allowing people to have choice. So fruit flowering or an evergreen tree.
Where are the trees actually planted?
They're planted, I'll actually show you that. So then you can choose the number of trees. So single trees $8.95, 3-tree groves $18.95, $29.95. And I thought of $8.95. I mean, some people would say, gosh, you know, that's a lot for a tree and everything like that. And other people are going, gosh, you know, $18.95, or they'll plant 5 trees. So we actually, more than half the business is multiple purchase, is $30 or more, which again, you're thinking about how do you refine it? Listen to the customers, look at their comments. You can add a personalized message, but then that's just the whole back end part of it. But more interaction you can have online is a good thing. You can put the pet's name in there. Let me go back. To the tree. Yeah, the site cost me about $30,000, and and it just went up last year, and we're about 85% having paid for it. So there's a lot of money in investment, but I went to a couple of tree planting organizations and said, do you want to partner with me? And so we kind of all split at $10,000 each. So potentially they'll get a lot of money from the tree planting, and I'll just show you so this is the nurseries that are planted. These are the trees. I'll just show you, this is the little, in the internet grade you can put up little, these are the planting sites in the US. You can choose whether you want it in the US or in El Salvador. I think what I'm most proud about is that it's, I'll just scroll down there. You can see there's hundreds of comments from the customers. I'll just put up a few.
Why El Salvador?
It's a tree planting project that I'm really familiar with, and I can stand behind it and say I know they're being planted, being cared for. Cost-wise, it's less than the U.S. It's a lot of reasons. We work with a nonprofit organization to do that. Beautiful cards, awesome idea. But when you get those customer comments, that's what really makes you feel you're making a difference. You're living your true nature. So my wish for you is that 1,000 things go right in your journey for your success, online success, offline success, success with your families, whatever that success looks to you, like to you. And just remember, stand tall and stand proud and enjoy the view. Good. Big success. Thanks.